Hi, I'm Nelson Hill, Electronic Service Team Leader here at Yalaba USA. Today we're going to show how to install an updated configuration and firmware in the CORIO CD circulators. There are a couple of different firmware versions and the process is slightly different depending on which firmware version your unit has. The way you find the firmware version is when you first turn it on, you see the P3.4.1. The 3 is the current firmware version. And then the C is the configuration. To update the configuration, the file we send you will need to be loaded onto a USB stick, preferably 2 gigabytes, formatted for FAT32. You will simply stick the USB into the port on the rear of the CD. Power the unit on. It will go through its self-test again. And then it'll show you that it's reconfiguring. Once it's completed, you can remove the USB stick, and to verify the version you're now on, cycle the power again. You'll get the version, and now the configuration is updated. To update the firmware, you'll need a separate USB stick. Again, copy the file onto the stick that we send you. Plug the USB into the rear. Turn the power on. And you'll see that it'll start deleting first the original firmware files. Then it'll start uploading the new firmware file. And then it'll cycle through and it shows you the new firmware. So now you see it went from P3 to P5. Then you can remove the USB stick. If you have a newer CD with a version of 4 or higher, the process is slightly different. When we send you the file, you'll need to put it on the USB stick, but first you have to create a folder named Update on the USB stick and copy the file into that folder, or it will not run the update. Similar process, we plug the USB stick into the rear. Now it'll show you that it's calculating, deleting, buffering, going through the programming steps, and then finally shows you the new firmware version, and then you can remove the USB stick. This one was already updated with the latest config. If the configuration needed to be updated, we would have to put that file into an update folder as well. So that is how to update the configuration and firmware versions of the CORIO CD circulators. Thank you for watching.